Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the Monarch of Mardi Gras, the Baroness of Bourbon Street. When she is not co-hosting Ringside Society, she's on crazy misadventures, such as dressing up as one of the Road Warriors and picking fights with random strangers and looking for the fabled Cobra Kai dojo and shopping for DeLoreans. Louisiana's own Kathy Knight. In our second quarter, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He's the travel dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He is Rob Bass, and you are not. And in the third quarter, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana. Now they love him in Japan. No cap. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is a young lady who started as a commentator for the Renegade Wrestling Revolution down in the Lone Star State of Texas. And on the 28th of August, that's right, 2 Saturdays from now, she'll be making her pro wrestling debut at the inaugural Texas Women's Grand Prix. I don't know if I got it right. I may have said it wrong, but it's something like that. The Texas Women's Grand Prix, the first one. Everybody, welcome to the show, the right hand of the Queen, Haley Danielle.
Woo! Woo! How are y'all?
Pretty good, Haley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. I'm still very excited about the Grand Prix that's coming up on the 28th.
Oh, my correction. Okay, so for those of y'all listening, it's the inaugural inaugural Women's Texas Grand Prix.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. I apologize. Please don't cancel me. I'm getting old, and I have a lot of other things going on right now. But yeah, all the best to that. We know you're pumped right now to get into the ring and all that. We're gonna talk about that in a bit. But yeah, so I always ask everybody in regards to like wrestling, what was the pay-per-view or the event that made you become a fan of pro wrestling?
Well, I wouldn't be able to really remember because I've always been watching wrestling ever since I was a little kid. So it's like I've watched it for so long that I don't even remember the first thing I've watched when it comes to whatever wrestling that it is. But obviously it was WWE to watch anyway. And I've always been a fan of like old school wrestling too, because my dad watched it, my grandfather watched it. So I was always around it anyway, like as far as, just it's always been on the TV.
Yeah, that's so. Do you remember exactly what you were? Was it WWE or was it NWA or was it like I don't know if y'all got was it one of those two or was it something else that you started watching?
Well, I know like I first started watching WWE for sure. And then like my dad is a huge fan of WCW, so he always would watch like just, VHS tapes of WCW, uh also some VHS tapes of WWE back then. So again, like I've always just watched it. So I kind of know a little
Cool.
bit of my history.
Right. I always tell people, even if like you don't you didn't see some of the stuff back then, like you got YouTube and all these other outlets that you can actually like go and check out. Like, you can always see when Hulk Hogan first won the WWE title. You can always see the formation of DX. You
Hmm.
can always see like the Montreal Screwjob and many other things. I mean, I started watching in 1990, and I missed the whole like the first Starcade, and I was able to see it courtesy of YouTube. Um, and if I can actually find old magazines and read about wrestling back in the 80s, then there's no reason why nobody can't, find it in this day and age when everything is like almost everything is digital. There's no reason why somebody can't find some of the old school stuff on YouTube and so on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So did you ever get to like go to any like events like live when you were growing up?
I wish that I did. Um, it's a little unfortunate we weren't like able to go to any of the shows and stuff when they were being Houston or anything like that. But I always made it for sure that I watched it on TV. Like there was no skipping that day. Like I will stay up until my mom would try to tell me, "Oh, it's bedtime. You got to go to bed," and I'm still trying to watch wrestling. She wouldn't know it, but she would always like suspect it because I was always tired in the morning going to school.
Yeah, parents. I went through the same thing like with Nitro and Raw. Like when I tried to stay up like around like 9 and whatnot, my aunt would be like, "Oops, time to go to bed." But luckily, I had a cousin, an older cousin that actually watched it as well too, and he was cool with me staying up. So when my aunt went to bed and she would close her door, I would sneak back to the living room and actually watch the rest of Nitro or Raw, whichever one was showing at the time. Yeah, good times. So now that you're you're a fan and you're like who are some of your favorites? Before I ask you how you got into wrestling, let me dial it back a bit. Who are some of your favorites that you enjoyed watching growing up? Like who are some of the ones that you hated and enjoyed booing and whatnot?
Okay, so again, like I was born in 98. So again, like I
Okay.
know so much history and stuff like that when it comes to pro wrestling. My favorite of all time is always going to be Bret Hart. Like I just love how he gets in the ring. Everything looks like it's like the realest that you can get. Like even in his promos, it's the most realist you can get. Like he doesn't have to hype himself up like an Ultimate Warrior type wrestler. He's just like one of the greatest of all time to me. But whenever I was little, I've known like the 2002 Shawn Michaels. To me, that whenever I was a kid watching Shawn Michaels, it was like the greatest thing ever. And Triple H was another one I liked. Ric Flair for sure. Um, I'm just trying to think so much. Roddy Piper was another one that I really liked because he was funny. Roddy Piper
Oh
was
man,
hilarious.
Piper was a crazy guy. Piper.
Hmm.
I always tell people Roddy Piper is Ric Flair without the limousines and the women. If you took the
Yes.
women away from Ric Flair and the limousines and all the money, and you put him in a leather jacket and you actually dyed his hair, you got Roddy Piper pretty much.
For sure.
And if you gave Roddy Piper the women in the limousines and the blonde hair and the fancy and the jewelry and whatnot, you got Ric Flair. So they were pretty
Hmm.
much the same thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. So wow, so you 98, wow, you were born smack dab in the middle of the Attitude Era, like pretty much. We had the
Hmm.
whole DX army and everything going on and the Nation of Domination and yeah.
Yeah.
So how did your journey go from being from being a fan, cheering your favorites and supporting the promotions to I guess for a commentator for because you're a commentator now
Hmm.
and now soon you're gonna be making your wrestling debut. And we know that you actually you actually train at reality wrestling, but how did it go? How did your journey go from fan to commentator?
How did it go from training to go into commentary?
Like from which one came first? Were you training first and then started commentating, or were you commentating and then started training?
Well, I started training a little over a year ago with Reality Wrestling, and
Okay.
yeah, and let me really think about it. I have a horrible memory, but let me think about this.
It's okay.
So, so okay, so it was that Scott Bruce, he hit me up and was talking about, that, you know, what was it? RWR was about to go back into doing shows, and I was gonna do some backstage interview stuff, but he had messaged me and he was like, "Haley, I need you on commentary." I was like, "What?" Because I never done commentary before, and it was a little bit scary at first, thinking about it. And then, like, as soon as I got there for the show, and just started talking on the mic with Jacob by my side, and everything just felt like it eased on. Like later on, it's like eased on within each match, so I felt so much better about it, and that's how it went. It was like, wow, okay, got an opportunity and I ran with it.
Well, that's good. Oh, Remy's back. Here we go. Uh-oh.
Is he back?
I don't know. He might be frozen.
Oh,
I thought it was me because I got a storm coming through. Thunder and lightning.
I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, I had to switch from my phone because my phone was giving issues. Instead of just throwing it against the wall and having to get another phone, I decided to one on my laptop. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So how was the training at Reality Wrestling? I mean, we've had a few people on here. Um, how, we've had a few people that have trained at Reality Wrestling. One that you actually may know about is Zeta Ramier, who used to be AQA. How was the training for you at Reality Wrestling though, with Booker T and uh, Kevin Neal, Bernhardt, and the rest of the guys?
I love it. Like every time I'm there, it's like everyone pushes everyone. You know what I mean? Like we're all, here for the same reasons. We're all here to get better, and we're always going to push each other to get better and better every session, every time that we're there. And even like if one day I feel really, really down or something, everyone's going to be able to just bring you back up and bring you back into good spirits. I just love it there. It's definitely a family to me.
Wow, I actually enjoy watching Reality Wrestling. Um, they're a very great promotion in Texas. I've been watching them for 8 years now, and I've never been disappointed with any show. Um, you probably already know. You obviously already know, but Kathy drives like 5-6 hours from Louisiana to Houston just to go see a reality wrestling show. So yeah, that's how great reality wrestling is. And yeah, um, I always look forward to every show that they have and so on. But yeah.
Yeah, they have
So
Summer of Champions coming up on
in
Saturday.
terms of
Well, tomorrow.
yeah, that's cool. A lot of great talent coming out from there. I wouldn't I wouldn't. At first, I would say they're the world class championship wrestling of Texas. Like, well, not they are, but not the world WCCW, but they're like as big as them in Texas. But then again, I see all these other promotions coming up and trying to show no, but we're here too. So um, I really enjoy that. I really enjoy what they have going on down there, and I'm actually jealous of Kathy. Kathy's like, I'm going to ROW show next week, and I'm like, man, I gotta be stuck here in North Carolina, man. Like, ain't nothing over here. All I got is forests and whatnot. Yeah. So I just have like two more questions before I pass over to Kathy. So my second to last question is the let me get it right. The inaugural women's Texas Grand Prix. Did I get it right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's where you're making your pro wrestling debut. Now we did see you have a little bit of in-ring action when you attacked an opponent on behalf of the Queen, Rachel Rose. But now this time you'll be going head on with your opponent. Are you feeling any like nervousness, or are you like, you know what, I got this. I'm the right hand of the Queen. I'm sorry for you. I'm gonna take you out.
Well, since that announcement had came out, obviously, I'm nervous about it, but I'm also like very excited because it's my debut, so it's a little unfortunate that it had to be against Rachel, but I don't know. We just have to see what happens, and I don't know. I'm just again like I'm super excited for it, but it's just I didn't want it to go against somebody that you know that I'm supporting and who I'm for. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Hey, you know something? It happens. Larry Zabisco and Bruno Sammartino, Sabu and the Sheik. What's another parent teacher match that they had? Kathy, Rob, help me out here. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a couple. I can't. I don't know if y'all know any. Let me know. But yeah,
Well, Eddie and Chavo, that was a family feud. Brett and Owen.
Yeah.
yeah,
Brett
yeah.
Owen for sure. And then you had Ric Flair and Mr.
I guess
Perfect.
Yeah, Flair Perfect, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, you never know. It'll probably turn out better. It'll probably turn out in your favor. You never know. I've seen some people pull off some very impressive wins in their debut. So yeah. So my last question before I turn over to Rob is: we know you just started. We know you're now starting out. Do you have? Well, let me rephrase that question. Who are your top 5 opponents that you'd like to face in the very near future? They could be from anywhere: WWE, AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, Indies, Japan, Europe.
Oh goodness. You're giving me so much thoughts right now. Um, well, I know for sure Roxy one day. I know that has to happen one day. Me and Roxy. Um, uh, there's so many. There's so many. Um, Goodness. There's just so many of them. I don't I can't. I know one day another one I would have loved to face is Charity Kane. Uh, she's up and coming. She's the young vet. I just want to go ahead on with her. um,
Man, Charity Kane. Oh,
mhm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Goodness. Ugh. Again, there's just so many of them to think about. Um, well, I know for sure because, she's a heart. I want to go against Natalia one day. Like, I have so much love and respect for
Oh
the
wow.
Hart family. It's just insane, So it's like, of course, I would want to have like that moment where it can be like Haley versus Natalia. That'd be amazing. I know for sure that would warm my heart so much. uh,
Yeah, I think everybody likes Natalia.
I
Um,
love how she's such a veteran. You know, it's she carries so much on her shoulders just because she is a heart. You know, and how she's carrying out the name and the legacy that she has within the family itself. You know, it's amazing.
the reason why I said Charity Kane is that she has some wicked clotheslines. I'm like,
I
oh,
know.
I want to duck whenever she comes at you.
She'll probably knock the blue out of my hair.
That girl is
But yes, I love her though. She I've trained with Charity Kane while she was at Reality Wrestling, and she can give out some good pointers, and she's very helpful when it comes to us training. Same thing with Rachel Rose. She can really be very good at uh at helping us training and stuff like that too.
nice. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass over to Kathy. I know Kathy's chomping at the bit to ask you a bunch of questions and whatnot. She was so excited when she heard you were coming on the show. It's a good thing. It's a
Oh.
good thing you're not from Louisiana because that definitely I probably would have to put her in timeout and be like, hey, not another word until the show starts. But go ahead, Kathy. The floor is yours.
Wow. All right. Thanks, Remy. Hey, Haley. How's it going?
Good, how are you, hon?
Good. A little bit under the weather still, but so bear with me if I sound, nasally, but that's just how it is. Got sick last week.
Mhm.
Still kind of battling it, but yeah, I'm here. So, speaking of the blue hair, how did you decide to get blue hair? What made you want to turn your hair blue?
Uh, so what had happened was there was some time, what was it, last year? Maybe it was in July of last year. I actually had dyed my hair purple and pink, where I had like purple roots and then it went out into pink. And those two are my favorite colors. So obviously I was going to try that to begin with. And then I don't know, like one day I was like, you know what? Sasha Banks has blue hair. I'm gonna try it out. And then I tried it, and it actually I looked at it, and I was like, it looks really good. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep trying the blue hair, and yeah. So for so far, I've almost had it for. Okay, wait, hold on. August, September. It'll be 1 year in October that I've had my hair blue.
Wow. Yeah, it looks
Hmm.
good. Blue's my favorite color, so it works. So,
Right?
you have on your like Instagram and Twitter and everything, you have Bombshell in front of your name. So, where did you get the name Bombshell from?
Well, that's just me trying to experiment something, for RWR. Um, so I was like, you know what? And it kind of rhymes a little bit, the bombshell Haley Danielle. So I was like, I'm gonna just try it out, and it seemed like people can run with it, I guess. It seemed okay with them, so they liked it. So I just kept using it for RWR,
Yeah, go with it fits. If it fits, go with it.
right?
So, speaking of RWR, you do commentary, as Remy mentioned, for RWR. And so there, when you think of commentary, you think of two people together. You think of like Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. They had like good
Hmm.
chemistry. You think of right now in SmackDown, there's Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. They seem to
Hmm.
have good chemistry. And then, like in TNA, the old TNA, they had Don West and Mike Tenay. They had good chemistry too. And then in R&R, you are with Jacob, and you two seem to have good chemistry too. So, how did you mesh with Jacob so well?
That I can't really explain. It just like happened naturally, I guess you can say. Um, Jacob is very it's like when he talks, it's like so exquisite. And he has like I don't know, he just has like those he actually has a very good vocabulary. And then for me, like whenever I first started doing commentary, I was like, dude, I don't think I'm doing too well. And then everyone's like, dude, you're doing so great. I'm like, really? Well, thanks. But I don't know. Again, it just happened naturally, and again, they just gave me an opportunity, and we ran with it. And I love Jacob. Jacob is so amazing. Like he's very great on the mic. He's great as journal manager. He's amazing. He's great.
Yeah, that's the teacher in him that
Hmm.
articulates. He's an English teacher, so yeah, we had him on the show before too, and yeah, he's awesome, and you are too. Like you make a good commentary team. I
Thank
would
you.
hear when I'm not there in person, I can hear the match YouTube commentary. It comes off really well. It works. Just like the blue hair, it works.
You just got to experiment.
So yeah, so you're known as the right hand of the queen, and the queen's Rachel Rose, and there's Bryant, loyal subject of Rachel Rose, and like you became the right hand of the queen. So how did that actually happen?
How did it happen? I don't know, it just happens, again, like it's just something that it's just a natural thing that can happen. So I would just be going to New Texas, and at first I was doing a little bit of like security stuff at New Texas, helping out with the shows, make sure everything is okay. And they're just like, hey, you look like you can be fitting for being the right hand of the queen. And I was like, oh, okay, because I'm also a fan of Rachel Rose anyway, Just so happens like one of the royal subjects was like, yo, you got it. And Kiefer knows me too from training at Reality Wrestling, so it just all fits together.
So tying into that, of course, like Remy mentioned, you're gonna be facing Rachel
Hmm.
for the first women's Grand Prix for New Texas Pro Wrestling, which actually Kiefer owns. And so, since you were at shows, commentary and stuff like that, and he already knew you were a wrestler, is that why he approached you and was like, "I'm gonna give you your first match"?
That's basically what happened in a
Okay.
nutshell. um, but it's just amazing that I'm actually going against Rachel Rose, even though at the same time it's kind of like nervous. I'm nervous about it, but I'm very excited as well.
Awesome. Yeah, it should be a really good match. Looking forward to. I don't know if I'm going to be there in person, but I definitely am looking forward to hearing about what happened and seeing footage of it and all that good stuff. Because it's not every day where you get to see, like, when we have guests on the show and we ask them like, what was your first match? They're like, oh, it's hidden in a vault, you can't see it. And but like in your case, everybody will be able to see it. So how do
Yeah,
you
I
feel
know,
about
right?
that? Got a little bit
It's
of nerves there going on.
Oh, always, always. Like anytime like I'm near a wrestling ring, I always feel that jitters, because I know one day I will have my debut match, you know. It's going to happen one day. And I just always have that feeling. It's like, when is it going to happen? But I also got to be patient. And then now that it's actually happening, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's actually happening. But yeah, so I'm very blessed that it's going to happen this year, because I was making that as my goal, is that I was going to have my first match this year. So I'm very excited for it.
There you go. Yeah, you gotta have those nervous butterflies, a little bit of
Hmm.
nervousness, a little bit of good nervousness. Otherwise, why do it? If you stop
Exactly.
being nervous and stop being excited for stuff, why do it in the first place? So
Exactly.
there's gonna
It's
always
like,
be, 5 years from now when you're still wrestling, like you'll still have the butterflies, so you'll be good.
yes, like if that's not there anymore, then it's like there's no point in it anymore. So I'm praying and hoping like it's something that I'll always feel that way for the next 10 years and 20 years, you know?
Yeah, of course, for sure. So every time we have a RWR person on the show, Scott Bruce likes to rib people, and he sends me text messages or something like that. Like if we had Emily on the show, and I had to rib her.
Mhm.
But so he's at his ribbing ways again, and he wanted to ask me to ask you, how many times have you been fired?
Oh my God, Scott. Yeah, so we'll always have this insider where either me or Emily is gonna get fired. Like, and in all honesty, I can't even count how many times I've been fired. It's crazy.
He actually wrote in the chat that you got fired like 14 times. That's what he said earlier.
Well, that's my favorite number, so might as well be. He's probably gonna fire me on this podcast too.
Yeah, he actually said, he was in the YouTube chat earlier. He said, when you were talking about your match with Rachel, he said, Kathy, if she blows this, she's fired for the 14th time. Scott likes to
Crazy.
rib people. So there you go, Scott. I did it.
I know. I was waiting for it too.
Yeah, Emily might have told you, like, watch out for Scott. He ribs people.
Yeah, she did tell me. She told me to watch out for him. She
There you
told
go.
me.
That's so funny. Yeah, so when we do research and stuff, we go on people's social media pages, and on your Instagram, you also have, so you have the Bret Hart shirt. You're a big Bret Hart fan, but you had
Mhm.
like some awesome leggings that you were working out in too. Like I just
Yes.
had to comment, like they were super awesome. And yeah, I'm pretty happy you're a Bret Hart fan because I like him too. Big fan of the Hart Foundation and everything with Bret Hart. So that's pretty awesome. I actually have the Hart Foundation figures on my wall in my room, so they're
Oh,
always
that's
a good
awesome.
thing. Yeah, I got to see Jim in person, Jim Neidhart. I think it was the year before he passed away. For WrestleCon, and I was just passing through. He was at his table. I should have actually met him, but I mean, you never know, like when stuff like that is gonna happen. But
Mhm.
I did get to see him, so that was pretty cool. And then Natty's mom was actually walking in front of me to his table, so I got to see her too. And I've met Natty twice in meet and greets, so that's pretty awesome.
That
There's a
is so
funny
cool.
story. Yeah, funny story with that. She's one of the first WWE people I actually met, and I was at the Cage Dome in Lafayette before a show because I didn't know. Like I'd gone to shows before, but I didn't know you could go early and try to meet them as they arrive to their whatever arena they're at. So I went pretty early, and she had like an ankle injury at the time, but she was still showing up to the shows. So she
Mhm.
goes just like everybody does. Like they put their suitcases away, and like we wave to them, tell them hi and stuff. Well, she actually came out of the Cajun Dome. Did like I call her Ninja Natty now because she did it. Like she came up. So they usually have like a barricade where they're on the one side of the barricade and the fans are on the other side of the barricade. But she actually went through the Cajun Dome, came around the barricade, and she just popped up where we all were, and she's like, "Hey guys," we're like, "Oh my god, hey Natty!" So I call her Ninja Natty now. Like she's a ninja. She just showed up out of the blue. Like I was talking to some fans, and I turned over, like turned my head, and she said that, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Natty!" Like put two together. Like that was so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, so and then so the last thing that I wanted to talk to you too, before I turn it over to Rob, I had noticed like on your Twitter page, I didn't even know this till today. You had like a GoFundMe account for Brian Knobs. You had a link to it, and Brian Knobs is from the Nasty Boys, and I
Mhm.
didn't even know he was like in such pain and like at the hospital and stuff like that. So doing research today actually led me to that GoFundMe account, and I put like $20 for his medical stuff because like these old school wrestlers. I'm a big Nasty Boys fan too, so like I
Mhm.
saw that, and that was pretty heartbreaking. So yeah, going through research and just how like life kind of works in mysterious ways. Doing research on you, and I saw you had retweeted it, so I was like, man, I want to donate. So I thought that was pretty cool that you had the link to it. You had retweeted it from somebody else. So I was like, you
Yeah, I
know what, I'm
retweeted
gonna.
from Natalia's Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what, I'm a donate to, because they are legends, and some of us grew. I know I grew up watching them, and they unfortunately have medical problems and they need help. So I was like, you know what, I'm a donate. So thanks to you being on the show and seeing all your stuff on your Twitter page, like I got to donate, and I hope other people do too. Well, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show, and good luck against Rachel. I know that's a big task, and looking forward to the Grand Prix. I know New Texas Pro Wrestling has a lot of banger matches, and I'm pretty sure this one will be one too, and like the whole Grand Prix, men's and women's. So good luck on your match and your future matches, and wish all the best to you.
Thank you so much.
All right, Rob.
All right, sweet. Thank you, Kathy. So what's going on, Haley? How's everything going your way tonight?
Going really good actually.
How's the weather out there, man? Is everything pretty good? Somebody leave the oven on? Is it a nice day?
So far, it's just, you know, seems peaceful and calm now, but I think it's supposed to be raining like later in the night. So,
Oh, that's cool. Well, it's storming
Mhm.
out here right now, so if you hear, boom, or there's like, flashes of light, it's just thunder and lightning, you know what I mean? Don't worry, no cops or anything are coming up, you know what I mean? Nobody's breaking my house, all right?
Right?
That's right. Now like Kathy said. Well, I do want to say I love that hair. That is awesome. That is awesome hair. You know what I mean? I love the hair. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you. Thank you.
Do you dye that yourself? Because I remember back in the day, people would dye that themselves. They always told me, use Kool-Aid. Use Kool-Aid dye your hair. I was like, really? Use some Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that what you use, or do you go to the store, get normal stuff?
I go to Sally's and get like the Arctic Fox hair dye. I actually mix two different colors to get this kind of blue, so I try.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I
Well,
try.
what do you mix up together? What are you mixing
Huh?
together? What two colors are you mixing together?
I don't even remember the names to them. I know one of them is like it's like a lighter blue, and then there's a purple. It's like called Purple Rain, and then I mix them
Oh,
two
okay.
together.
Like Prince.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, see, I'm kind of like colorblind and stuff, you know what I mean? I have trouble with blue and purple and all, but I can't tell them apart, but they always, pop out to me and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't know you had to mix them up together, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Again,
figured you
it's
just
just
go in there.
experimenting one day.
I just figured you go up there and get the Haley Danielle special, you know what I mean? Just right on the box.
Right? Custom made for
There you
me.
go. That's right. Oh, man. So how today is Friday the 13th. So how's it treating you today? Is any
Ooh,
crazy things happen? Is there a full moon tonight? I don't know.
I hope not.
Uh-oh.
Usually on Friday the 13th are not my greatest days. So I'm just thanking
Mm,
God that nothing is happening.
that's cool. That's cool. I was actually born on the 13th and stuff, so sometimes I have a birthday on Friday the 13th. Those are always
Oh
pretty cool.
wow.
Oh yeah. See, on one birthday, I need to go. Well, it's in the winter or what. If I had a summer birthday, I'd be like, oh, let me go to Camp Crystal Lake just to camp out or whatever, see what happens.
Oh God. No, not
Next thing
me.
you know, I'm on scare tactics. You know what I mean? Tracy Morgan,
Hmm.
hopping out, pointing, laughing at me while I'm laying in the corner crying. Soiled myself. Like,
Oh my goodness.
I know. Yeah, I was actually watching that. Whatchamacall, scare tactics the other day. Oh, yeah, that show. Oh man, how can friends put you on there? That's messed up. They ain't real friends. They are not real friends. Now, when we were talking earlier, you were talking with like Kathy and all, I mean, about Bret Hart stuff. Now, what is your favorite Bret Hart match? Like, if you go, you're right now, you're in the mood to watch some Bret Hart. You're like, this is the match I'm gonna watch. Get me started. Warm me up. So I can get in the mood. So you know what I mean? Or is there
Oh,
like a few of them?
I have a few because I can't just pick one Bret Hart match. It's like if I were to
Mhm.
go on to Peacock and there was like any Bret Hart match, I would totally watch any of them, you know. But there's like four of them that can come into mind right now. First off, it'll be Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam '91. That one's always my
Woo!
go-to.
That was a nice one. That was
That's
for the
always
IC
my
belt too, wasn't
go-to.
it? That was the IC
Yes.
belt one, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
It was
Woo,
Bret's
yes.
first Intercontinental title.
Oh yeah, I remember.
My second one, I'll say because it's what made me love Bret Hart so much, was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series '92. And the reason why I loved it so much was because of the promo before the match.
Okay.
And then like that was like the day I was just like, I am a huge Bret Hart fan now. And I like looked up every Bret Hart match I could think of. And also, you know, WrestleMania 8 with him and Roddy Piper. That one was a fantastic match. SummerSlam '94, and he had the cage match with Owen. That one's one of my favorites too. And again, I can just go on and on about any WrestleMania matches Bret Hart has been in, or any SummerSlam matches, or anything like that. Even SummerSlam '92 with him and the British Bulldog was one of my favorites too. Even though Bret lost the match, but it was still a fantastic match, and the story behind it was just amazing.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, especially that Owen Brett match at SummerSlam or whatever, that cage match. That was like, I actually think that was actually better than their WrestleMania match. You know, as
And
great
I
as that
agree.
WrestleMania match was, that cage match was just woo. Oh man, I remember watching that as a kid, and then going to school the next day, and everybody's just like, "Did you see when Bret Hart? You know, he got suplexed up, man. He just heard a cracking their backs were broken." And we're like, "Yes, they're dead." You know, oh man.
And I totally agree with that. I felt like the SummerSlam '94 match was way better than the match at WrestleMania 10, but it was also one of their greatest matches that they had too. It was also the one for WrestleMania 10.
Now, my favorite. Now you're talking about. I can't believe you're like you like Bret Hart. He's your favorite, and then you also like Shawn Michaels. That's like you know what I mean. You know, it's all
See,
good. Now, you like who you like.
But whenever I was little, I didn't know a lot about stuff that happened back then.
Fair enough.
And I come to find out so much stuff about Bret Hart whenever I was in the 7th grade. Because one day I was just watching wrestling with my dad, and that match popped up, and I was like, no one touched the TV, no one bothered me. I'm watching this match. And it was just the greatest thing I've ever seen. So I had to study more about Bret Hart, and then I found out about the Montreal Screwjob. And now I didn't watch the Montreal Screwjob because I didn't want to see what happened. Like, I've read it in Bret Hart's book, I've read it in Shawn Michaels' book, so I didn't want to see it. But I felt like it was necessary that I should watch it. And then I finally got over the fact that I wasn't going to watch it anymore. And I seen it, and it was such a great match. It really was. Until like the ending part. But we're not going to talk about that part. But it was such a beautiful match in itself. Like, it really was, though.
Now, I like the Bret Hart Shawn WrestleMania Iron Man match, the one where it was 60 minutes. Even though, you know, it's an Iron Man match, you know, they're not going to do a bunch of stuff, you know, for all 60 minutes, you know. But that match, I remember just sitting there with my friend, you know, my buddy, you know, we're just sitting there at the edge of our seat, like, all right, who's going to get this? Who's going to get this? Or we're watching like 5 minutes left, 0-0. Like, really? It is like overtime. Like, wow, yes. That's one of them ones like, oh, man. I don't know if I've ever been like that, you know, for a WrestleMania match ever since then or whatever, you know, but just it's intense, you know. Yeah, I remember that.
Right, because you're like trying to figure out which one is going to get the first fall, and we're all like trying to, we're like, when is it going to happen? And it never did. So it was just like, wow. But, you know, they had to restart it and everything, and Bret lost, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's all good. Now, Brett, he brought out the best in like everybody he wrestled. I mean, if you go back and look, there was a match with Diesel. I think it was at Royal Rumble or somewhere around there. It was probably one of Diesel's best matches in like WWE. Like the whole time he was there, it was like, Diesel, like he's 7 feet tall, giant. Bret Hart's like 6 feet tall. They just made it
And
work. It was just like,
exactly. And to also point out how you're saying he brought out the best in people, even with someone like Yokozuna. Like, who is going to go head to head with somebody like Yokozuna?
Yeah.
And Bret Hart did, So that statement is just as true as you can get it. For real.
I remember him fighting Yokozuna. I remember watching Monday Night Raw with my dad, when I was a kid and stuff, and we were watching it, and he's like, what's he doing? He's like, he needs to hop on and start biting him in the face. And then Bret Hart got up there, started grabbing him and biting him in the face. He's like, that's right. And I was like, that's right, Pop, calling it. I was like, yeah. I probably had to do the same thing. Yeah, Yokozuna's huge, man. Woo.
Yeah.
Gotta do something.
Right?
I know. Whew. So you said you've been training for a year. Or about a year. So how's your training been going? Are you still going there all the time? Do you also do weight training there? Or are you doing weight training there also? Or, you just hit the gym on your own time?
Well, yeah, I usually whenever I do training, like right after training, I either go to after training I usually go to the gym and I work out at Crunch Fitness. Or like if there's days that I have to go into work because I work night shift, I usually try to go to the gym before I have to go into work, and I usually do 12-hour shifts at work. So yeah, so it's kind of try to keep that balance here and there.
Oh yeah, well I need to give you a round of applause right there. You go to training and then go to the gym and stuff. Oh man, I do that and stuff. For like ref training and all that, manager training stuff. And afterwards, I'm dead. My legs are like done. We done lost her.
I'm sorry, I broke up for a second.
Sorry. Oh, you're good. No, you're good. No, I'm just saying, I applaud you, for training and stuff, and then going to the gym right after, because I do that stuff for like ref training and stuff, and like manager training, all that, and my legs are like noodles, like rubbery afterwards, and all. It's like I can't even think about going in there. I barely drive home. I get home, I'm relaxed, and I'm like, woo. And dogs are like, yeah, we need to go out now. It's like, yeah, I don't know how you do it. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, you got those young legs and stuff. I'm 39. You know what I mean? My legs are like, oh, you ain't as young as you used to be, old man. You need to slow down. So it's like, all right.
My goodness.
Yeah. Well, plus, I got training tomorrow at 8 a.m. and then afterwards I'm supposed to go to a Comic-Con and all. So I'm like, I'm gonna see how that works. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna need a cane, a walker, or if I'm gonna be able to walk. You know what I mean?
Use a wheelchair.
Or if I'm going to take. Or if I'm going to hop on my friend's back and piggyback or something, man. I'll figure something out.
Right.
So tomorrow, are you going to be at the show doing anything tomorrow?
Summer Champions. I normally go to, for reality wrestling, we're there, to help out with the show. Do security stuff, concessions, whatever that we have to do for the show to make it great for the fans. I'm very excited to see.
That's pretty cool.
The show's gonna be really good too.
So are you doing security or something? Is that what you're probably doing?
I'll be doing something, I know.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's fair enough. That's pretty, hey, you go there, at least you got something to do, you know what I mean? That's how I feel. I'll sit there and take tickets. I don't care. I'll do it.
Right.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with me. So, you're over there in Texas, right? Big state of Texas. Now, what kind of monsters do you all have out there? Because I watch these shows and stuff. They talk about chupacabra and all this stuff, I mean, have you ever come across any of those, out in that desert, area? I'm over here on the East Coast in Delaware. We have nothing like that, I have just woods and farmland, That's like, another country to me, Texas,
Well, it just depends on what part of Texas Texas because I live in Houston, so I don't have to really deal with like the
Okay.
desertness and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
yeah, but like if you live like right out like towards like I don't know like Victoria, Texas, somewhere out there where my mom lives, you see like a bunch
Mm,
of like animals out there. There's
mm,
roaming everywhere.
mm. Do they got
Yeah,
what's that? Cactuses? Well, no, what's plural for cacti? Yeah, cacti out there.
cacti.
Yeah, that's plural, right? Plural for
Yes,
cactuses.
cacti.
Okay, yeah. They have that out there by your mom.
Well, they even have cactus here in Houston too. Like when I
Ooh.
used to live with my dad and stuff, we had this huge cactus.
Mm.
Yeah, and one time I pushed my little sister in the cactus.
Oh Lord.
It
Oh
was so
Lord.
bad.
Uh,
It was horrible.
was it like in the cartoon? Was it like in the cartoons with like the pins and stuff or the prickly stuff in the butt and arm and back? When they fall into it. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, bad
Man, I got in
sister.
so
Oh
much
man.
trouble for that too.
Oh man. Oh. Now I've never
I'm
seen a
sorry,
cactus live.
Heather.
Well, I have seen a cactus live. Like a little small one, but not in its like natural
hmm
habitat. You know what I mean? So I couldn't
hmm
imagine that. Just falling. Woo. Ugh. Oh,
Yeah, but
y'all got
everyone like
tumbleweeds too,
thinks
right?
like I'm pretty sure. Like I haven't really seen one, but I'm sure.
That's pretty cool. Cause I want to go out there one time in Texas. I just like want to see like the ghost towns and stuff. I mean, there's abandoned towns and stuff. Like where they were in like the cowboy times or whatever. Hunting for gold or where like Billy the Kid or
Yes.
something was at.
Like where my mom lives, like it's like a huge street, right? But it's a very, very country part of
Mm,
Victoria. Well, it's a small town called Northern Texas. Very small town. And
okay.
like on that street that she lives on, it's like everything looks the same, like how it would look like, like in like the Western movies. Like you have your saloon and all this
Mm,
stuff, and it's very country. So every time I go out there, I love coming out there because it's nothing like Houston, and it's very peaceful and it's open land. It's just beautiful. You see peacocks everywhere.
whew, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, we have. I've seen peacocks. My neighbor, when I was growing up, my mom and dad's, their neighbor had peacocks and stuff, or had one. I remember we
Mhm.
used to go out there in the woods. We'd look at it and it'd see us and go like, do that
Mhm.
little thing. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Texas. Oh, I have a friend. He has family out in Texas, and he flew out there to visit them one time. They're like, hey man, you wanna, you and your wife wanna come out to the campground and stuff with us? They're like, yeah, let's go out to the campground. He said they were driving for like 6.5 hours, till they got there. He said like hour five. So I'm like, he was like, where are we going? Are we still? He's like, oh, we're still in Texas, and all. He's like, what? Where's you go?
Yeah.
How? You know what I mean? Because we're on the East Coast. You drive 5 hours for me. I can probably get to New York. You know what I mean? Like, I could be
Mhm.
Times Square, maybe, close to it. Yeah. But I can't imagine. Yeah, it's like, whew. But then you probably like Delaware. I can get from one end of the state to the other in like a half hour. So, you're probably like,
Mhm.
oh my Lord.
Right.
Yeah, but Texas, yeah, I do want to definitely go out to Texas. Yeah, it's one of those places I definitely need to see. Just, it always everything looks cool out there to me.
Trust me, there's no state like no other.
That's right. Do you have the Alamo? Is that where Davy Crockett and them were at?
In San Antonio.
Oh, that's in San Antonio. Okay, my bad. My bad. I wasn't that good in history. You know what I mean? So, I just remember from what Disney was telling me and stuff. Like when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor and stuff. You know what I mean? Just yeah. So, I do gotta ask. Since there's a lot, new Marvel movies, all that good stuff. Are you into any of those things? Watching Marvel movies, the shows, scary
You'd be
movie
surprised.
stuff.
You'd be surprised. I really don't watch that much TV. I
Okay.
really do just watch a lot about wrestling. And like if there's a show that will pop up that I actually would enjoy, then I would watch it. But I really don't watch that much TV.
Oh, that's cool. So have you watched any of that Dark Side of the Ring or the A&E biographies or whatever? Yeah, A&E.
I have watched the Booker T documentary. I've also have seen the Bret Hart documentary. I had to see those two. I do want to see the Shawn Michaels one, but I just haven't gotten
Ooh.
to it yet. I just haven't gotten
Yeah,
to it yet.
that's a real good one. You know what I mean? It's like Shawn Michaels is like straight edge. You know what I mean? All that and all, and then Marty Jannetty comes into his life, and it's like, oh. God bless him, Marty Jannetty. He's still doing his thing. Hey, do your thing, man.
Right.
Uh, Now you're talking about seeing the Booker T documentary and stuff. And train reality of wrestling. Have you ever challenged into a spin Rooney contest?
Oh
And
no.
also, can you do one? Can you do one? Can you do one? No.
I can't. I try. I could try. Like whenever I was like what 4 years old, maybe 5. But
Mm,
but I gotta learn. I gotta get some lessons from Booker T. I have to.
that's right. That's right. Hey, what I mean, if anybody could teach you, it'd be Booker. Book would tell you, hey, Booker T gets you.
Hmm.
That would be awesome. What I mean, I'm gonna look out for that. One day watching your matches, if you bust out with a spinner Rooney, I'm like, oh, I know where that came from. Here we go.
Right. My goodness.
There we go. Yeah. Hey, because of Booker T, to this day, Chef Boyardee, I call beefaroni to this day, because those commercials from when I was a kid, he'd be like, you need some beefaroni. To this day, I'm like, yeah, let me get some beefaroni. It's just one of them things. So, yeah, I did want to ask you just a couple more questions. Yeah, about your debut match. You're going against, Rachel Rose, the queen, I mean, bend the knee. Who had the audacity to do the seating and match you up with her? You know what I mean? Who in the world would do that? You know what I mean? Do you have
My
to cuss
goodness.
somebody out? You know what I mean? Are you going to have to get on the mic and tell somebody off or something? The audacity of them. Am I right? Am I right?
In all honesty, it could be the sheriff himself, Kiefer Bumstead,
Mm,
that did that.
mm.
It would not
Oh,
surprise
man.
me
Mm-mm-mm.
because he doesn't like Rachel as it is, so it would not surprise me.
Oh, man. See, see, now I'm thinking something's going to happen. I'm definitely intrigued, what's going to happen between y'all two, you know what I mean? I'm pulling for you, I mean, if anything goes right, I'm hoping you, pull it, pull out that win or whatever, just, I'm full for you. But I'm also, I'm kind of intrigued what's going to happen, 'cause I'm like, yeah, okay. How y'all going to get this, man? Like, who would do that? There's something up the sleeve. Oh, man, I got to see. That's right. It's
I'm
two
pretty sure.
Saturdays from now too, right? It's
Yes,
two
it's going to be on
Saturdays
the
from now,
28th. Mm-hmm.
the 28th. Now, do you have anything before then or after that you're going to be on? Well, other than tomorrow or whatever. Yeah.
No, not really. I know I have like another interview tomorrow too after the show, but other than that, I really nothing that much until that
Oh,
day
that's cool.
happens.
Oh, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. See, now you're in demand, you're getting interviews everywhere. You know what I mean? Oh man, going
Right?
on up. That's right. So, so I do gotta ask, for training, doing all kinds of, stuff, helping out and all. Are there any, funny, road or backstage stories that have happened, that you can share? You can change the name to protect the innocent if you need to. It's like, somebody forgot, like, gear or something, then you have to go find something, something crazy.
Let me think, because there's so many. Um,
Oh no.
it's always something with RWR, with Scott
Mm.
and Jacob,
Oh,
um,
those guys.
and Emily.
Oh, they're
Emily is like
awesome.
my Emily is my how do you say it? She's my partner in
BFF.
crime.
Oh,
I
okay,
love
okay.
Emily so much. She's my partner in crime.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Like
I
we
like Emily.
are, yes,
She's awesome.
she is literally the voice and I am the bombshell. Like we are like this when it comes to RWR. Um but there's always something up with Scott and Jacob, always, but mostly Scott. Mostly Scott.
Mm-mm-mm. That's
Like
crazy.
Scott, like he'll always like he'll name lyrics to a song, and I won't even know that he's doing that. Like the Bruno Mars song. He's like, "What you doing? Where you at?" Like he'll always message me stuff like that, and it will not click to me that he's doing lyrics of a song, and I'm like responding to him, and I'm like, "What is going on? What are you doing?" And I fall for it every time, every time,
Mm, mm, mm,
every
mm.
time.
Now you're talking about you and Emily and stuff, the voice in the bombshell. Now, is there any way you can convince her to dye her hair blue, or is there no chance of that ever happening?
Ugh,
Or will we have to get on a Twitter campaign, Emily, dye your hair blue, get the hashtag going.
right. We need to get that hashtag.
That's right. That's right. Well, I don't want to get that hashtag started because, she gets mad. I don't want her beating me up. You know what I mean? I don't want her flying out Delaware. If I go out to Texas, to go chill, she's talking me. And next thing you know, boom, I'm beat up.
It's okay. I got you. I
All
got
right.
you.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, you got my back. That's right.
Look, as long as we
Oh,
can get
man.
her hair blue.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. Oh, man. Remy's still away or whatever. Just, oh, man. I was going to pass it on over to him, but I'll think of another question or something. So, we got Shawn Michaels. He's one of your favorites too. Like, what are some of his favorite matches that you love to watch? Like other than the one with Bret Hart.
Um, again, it's also a lot of things to think about because he has had so many great matches.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So let me ask you
well,
this: what do you think? I was going to say, let me ask you this: what do you think? Do you think his first half or second half of his career was better? After his back injury, like with a young Shawn or back surgery Shawn. What do you think was better?
I feel the second half of his career because it
Okay.
it implemented so much on so many levels
Mm-hmm.
that he can still hang out with the young kids. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was there, like when he had a career in like 1987 or 88, somewhere around there, and then he had gotten that back injury in like 2000s or somewhere around there. No, 98, somewhere around there, and
Yeah,
then he
97,
came
90,
back,
yeah. Mhm.
and he was even better than he was in his first half of his career. And he's had so many great matches with like people like Shelton Benjamin and you know uh Triple H for one, you know, John Cena another, Chris Jericho. Like he's had so many great matches after his back injury, and people would never thought that he was going to come back, and his
Mhm.
career was even better than ever. So it just explains so much about Shawn Michaels' career and the kind of person that he is himself, you know. So it's always something
Oh
I can
yeah.
respect.
Oh yeah, yeah. That one match with Ric Flair, he retires. Sorry, I love you. Yeah, that'll get you every time. I mean, just
I
emotional.
cry
I
every
mean,
time seeing it. I cry every
yeah.
time.
And then you got the back to back. When you went to try to get the Undertaker career versus streak and stuff, and it's like, oh man,
Hmm.
all right. That's where I'm going to pretend. Shawn Michaels' last match was. Against the Undertaker. That not no Saudi Arabia thing. That you know, yeah, 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 yeah. I got mind blockers on that one. I don't put that one out there. Yeah, I'm gonna remember that. Yeah, just Flair. His last match was against Shawn Michaels. What I mean? That's what I get. That's where I'm going.
I don't blame you for
But
that.
I do want to. Yeah, hey, nothing wrong with that. But I do want to say, before I pass it on over to Remy, I do want to say, thank you very much for taking time out of your day, coming on chat with us. I had a blast chatting with you and all that. I wish you nothing but success and all that, and I wish you luck on the 28th. When you're on your matchup against Rachel Rose. You know what I mean? I'm pulling for you. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be there, but I'll write a sign and I'll hold it up. Watching YouTube. Watching it on YouTube or something.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Haley, thanks a lot for actually giving us this opportunity for to interview you. We really and truly do appreciate it. Thank you for letting us be your first podcast. We know that there were many others out there, but thank you for actually giving us this opportunity. You don't know how much it means to us um, as well. Not just Kathy, but to us in general as well too. We appreciate it as well. Um, so yeah, so with that 28th, we hope we knock it out the park to the point where people leave saying, "Wow, that Haley Danielle, she definitely has a future." You know what? Give it a year, we'll see her in AEW. Give it a year, we'll see her in WWE or Ring of Honor or Impact or heck, even Shine Shimmer or WSU. But I really and truly, wish you all. We wish you all the best as well too. And best believe when we see you on TV, not if, when we see you on TV, we're definitely going to be screaming at each other as well. Because one thing we like to see is people be on the show and then see them go forth and do even greater things and whatnot. And we've had several thus far proceed to do that as well. We're not taking credit for their success, but it just makes you think, well, wow, we just had them on TV the other day, and now they're doing it big on screen. Kudos to them. With that being said, before we shut down the show, where can fans find you on social media if they want to find out where your next appearances, if they want to purchase merchandise, if they want to get tips on how to get that perfect blue in their hair? I'm gonna have to hit you up afterwards too, because I'm trying to represent Ringside Society. I'm trying to get a light blue down here and a dark blue up here, look like a little like blue fade. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And where can bookers and promoters find you if they want to hire you for their shows?
Oh man, let me remember. For Instagram, it's bombshell Haley Danielle 14, and then on Twitter, it's bombshell Haley D, I believe. And then I have my own Facebook page where you can just look up Haley Danielle.
Awesome, that's cool. So once again, all the best. And I'm not a wrestler, but the only advice I can give you is I'm not a wrestler, but I used to be a singer in a singing group back in high school. And I guess you could say wrestling and singing are kind of the same because you have to train for both. Just that wrestling is a bit more, you got to train run and weightlift and all that stuff. And singing is just stretching out your vocal cords and whatnot. But the same thing, touring and going to different places and whatnot, and being creative. And the most I can tell you from my point is, just keep your head up, keep striving and keep on the grind. But I know you got this for sure. Yeah, so with that being said, Rob Bass, where can fans find you on social media if they want to, talk wrestling? Where can bookers and promoters find you if they want to book you for your refereeing services once you've graduated referee school?
All right, you can find me Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, Rob_Bass82. Oh, got a little echo in my bed. This messed me up a little bit. And then Facebook and YouTube, Rob Bass.
Awesome. Kathy, where can fans find you on social media? I'm sorry, I'm stuttering right now. Where can fans find you on social media if they want to talk wrestling, talk vignettes, go on one of your crazy misadventures? By the way, if you do go on one of our crazy misadventures, we are not responsible for you. You already cost us too much already. But yeah, where can fans find you on social media if they want to talk wrestling and all that good stuff?
So I'm on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord, all at BLUE70517.
If you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, you can find me on Twitter and You can find me on Twitter under at the Remy Blue. You can find me on Facebook under Remy Blue. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28. So definitely add me on there. I don't have a lot of cool things to say, but who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky and hear me say something really fun and whatnot. But our Instagram is actually on social media. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram under at Ringside Society. We also have a Facebook group. It's called Ringside Society. Check it out. Join our group. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. We have a lot of cool stuff on those platforms. We're also on Twitch, where this episode is actually being streamed. This is one of the platforms. So you can find us on Twitch under Ringside Society 2019. And you can also find us on YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. And just type in Ringside Society, and you will definitely find us on there. And subscribe to us. Subscribe to all the videos. Don't personalize it. Subscribe to all the videos, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. We got interviews. We got some clips from some live shows that we've been at. We were trying to get the one where Rob got beat up at 1CW, but unfortunately, that's not happening. But yeah. But just follow us on all those platforms. And on YouTube, if it doesn't have that logo over there, it's not us. It's somebody else. But yeah, with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tonight that joined us live. Thank you very much. We really and truly do appreciate you. Those of you that are going to tune in later on via YouTube or Twitch, thank you very much in advance. Thank you very much to Alicia the Warrior Princess and Miss Jen, our Twitch mods. We're very grateful for you holding down the fort on Twitch, keeping out the bad guys and the bad girls and the bad bots. And with that being said, those of you that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like Kathy at a pool boy store, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we here at Ringside Society just want all y'all to know that we're very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. Well, we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag, we are not the same. And no, we don't say that because we're trying to impress the girls, or in Kathy's case, the guys. Rob Bass, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the right hand of the queen, who's going to kick ass at the Texas, hold on, let me get it correctly, the inaugural Women's Texas Grand Prix, Haley Danielle. What type of podcast are we?
All right, 3, 2, 1. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're still going through a pandemic. So until it's over, stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, though.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank y'all for having me.